Hello and welcome to the Awkward Corner, where we discuss everything and anything with the world of design. I'm Stephen, and with me today is SJ and Amy.
Hello.
Hello.
That's nice. How are we?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Me too. I'm good too.
Good. That's good to know as well.
Yeah.
Anyone got anything they want to open up with?
No, not really.
It's not therapy.
When I was 5.
Yeah, we haven't got that long.
No.
I have.
Go on.
Shall I, you know?
Yeah, go on.
Because you know full well I'm studying for a master's.
Yes.
I just like to point that out. And I've come across some really interesting bits and pieces for retail design. And I wanted to ask you, and this is kind of primary research really, so, it's kind of good. To have
Two
you
birds
here.
with one stone.
True.
Exactly right. Don't know how I reference this, but hey, that's for another day. By the end of the decade, what do you think retail would be like? What's the conventional shop going to look like? I know. This is why I'm struggling.
I think there's going to be a lot more interactive elements.
I think there's got to be. The emphasis on an experience rather than a... I mean, I can't remember the last time I went into a shop.
That's really
To
interesting.
shop.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Even pre-COVID, I can't think of a time at which I went shopping.
Yeah. I still think people enjoy that element though. There's always going to
The
be that.
browsing.
Yeah.
That's the balance, isn't it? though,
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly.
Because do you think that's a generational thing as well? Because I think that
Possibly.
could be a generational thing.
Yeah, because when you think about the newer generations
Yeah.
that are a bit more sort of social media, tech savvy.
Generation Alpha.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what they're called? So what's that? From year what?
I think might be, I don't know, I should probably look that up before just coming in with Generation Alpha. I mean, I'm Generation X, which always sounds quite good.
Yeah, that does sound quite nice.
Yeah. But then I'm probably not the target market for a lot of brand development right now, which is why it's interesting doing a project like that, because you are looking for the generations that are coming with a different kind of expectation.
Here's a question for you then. Do you think they'll get rid of changing rooms and just have AR technology where
Virtual.
you stand in front of it and it
yeah.
you can get, is it
Yeah.
Adidas or Nike? Do the app that you can point them at your foot.
Yes, and it
will
changes and puts the shoe on.
puts the trainer
on.
so you can have a look to see what the trainer would look like.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think there'll be like mirrors where you stand in front of them and it just puts the clothes on?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
And then
reading.
there's no
That's
need for
mind-blowing.
Changing rooms.
Yeah,
So it's
I was reading something. Amazon are about to launch their first standalone clothes store in America shortly, and they have an idea I was working on. So a bit annoyed,
Oh, come
But-
on, Amazon.
but I like the concept of, so you're going to a changing room, so you're still going to a changing room because they're
yeah.
going to have physical
Yeah.
clothes. But when you go in, I think the idea is that it will then suggest to you, if you scan the clothes that you're in there with, it will bring up influencers and other kind of fashion labels, and it will give you certain looks
Yes,
that
and
complement the clothes you've got
I like
as well.
that.
It is, and that's really interesting actually, because I noticed on Amazon the other day on my phone that if you upload an image of a particular, I don't know, outfit that you like, they will source as close to that
clever.
proximity.
It's clever,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I like that.
is-
Clever.
and I was like, what?
Yeah.
This is new.
Yeah, I do like that.
And I think these pods are I think you'll be able to like order it as well from
Yeah,
the pod. So if
yeah.
you see it, you obviously signed in with your actual Amazon account. Although I think that's going to be biometrics as well. There's talk of biometrics. So to make it easier to like sign in. And then, it will order it and then it will ship it back to your home.
That's
and
clever.
you walk
Well,
away.
they're
It's-
already heading down that road then, aren't they,
And
in
that's-
terms
and
of experience?
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. 'cause it
My mind's
builds on
slightly
that.
blown by this though.
Yeah.
But it is an experience, isn't it? That's not shopping.
yeah, definitely.
That then becomes, well, it's
Totally
it is
different.
shopping, but it's
Yeah.
completely different. And what's interesting is how you design for that, because the shop no longer looks like a shop if you do that.
Are you carrying are they going to carry any stock or will
Yes.
it just be?
No, they will carry, so that it's still
Okay.
going to be a physical store. But the way they're designing it is, again, very much based on social media trends. So they will have racks which are influencer racks. So all your favorite influencers
Yeah, yeah.
will have like a clothing range that they like putting together, and Amazon are going to build it around that. I'm clearly not the demographic.
No.
that.
Who's your favourite Instagram influencer?
I mean, that's really hard to say, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Me
I
neither.
actually have no idea.
I wouldn't say she's an influencer, but I do talk about her in things that, you know, I discuss in professional practice and stuff like that. And that's Karen Bond. And you may have heard me speak about her.
Yeah.
And I think she's quite interesting, and she has had a lot of influence. Is she an influencer? I don't know, but I do think it just goes. I think it goes to show how things are changing, where people take their inspiration from, don't they? They don't just go into a shop to look.
No, it's true.
Anymore.
And that whole idea of has someone influenced something, or are they an influencer? I think they're two different things. And what their rationale for being an influencer is, you know, is it sort of social media driven to be sort of popular, or is it coming from a passion or an experience?
Yeah.
I think they're two different things.
Yeah, what do you think is the age limit for influencers these days?
It
So I
depends.
think it's a young man's game.
I don't know. I mean, it depends if they're vlogging funerals.
Casket trends.
And I could be bang on trend.
And I don't think there are many of those around. So you might find your niche in the market
I
there.
found my niche.
You
So
found
co-op,
your
if you're
calling.
listening.
Yeah.
Well,
Moving on.
Yes.
moving on. Anything else that anyone's seen or heard or wants to talk about?
No.
No, not at the moment.
No, it's quiet out there.
Yeah, I've been too busy.
Having a life? Like me?
True.
No. Fascinating over my new kitchen tiles.
Oh, yeah. Black tiles, which I do approve of.
Black tiles, but with white grout.
But I mean, you could have gone for black.
And we've argued for a while about this now, haven't we?
Yeah. It's a shame that you want to argue when you know I'm right.
Oh,
But that's not the case.
That's a bit steep. Well, to be
Who
fair,
do you
I've
agree
kind
with,
of come in
SJ?
today, and I kind of agree with Amy on this one.
Thank
mean,
you.
I'm sorry to say.
I mean, everybody's entitled to opinion, regardless of whether,
Whether
it's
it's
right.
wrong.
You can have your wrong opinion.
Did you think about anything else, though, when you were doing, like, thinking about the splashback?
I only ever thought about tiles. I knew I wanted black tiles, but I did think about black grout.
See?
But I decided that it would be too much in the context of my kitchen, which is white.
That's a shame. But, I've seen the pictures and it does look nice.
Yeah,
I'm
back
glad
pedal.
You're glad he approves.
I
aren't
mean,
you?
I can sleep easy tonight knowing that
Indeed.
Stephen thinks
Right.
that my choice is correct.
That's very true.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
Very good. Should we move on?
Yes.
Yes, please. Before we fight.
No, there's plenty of time for that. Easter. How do we feel about it?
I love Easter
Why do you love Easter?
because I love chocolate and I love eating and I love bunnies and chicks
Okay.
Chicks on sticks.
and chicks on sticks.
Let's just hold that thought. We'll come back to chicks on sticks. That's why you love Easter.
I just like eating.
You just-
Oh, hot cross buns.
Hot cross buns.
Yes. What do you have on your hot cross buns?
Just butter.
Just butter.
Just butter. I don't like hot cross buns.
I don't. Well, yeah, raisins
If I'm-
is
if
like the
I'm
devil's
gonna be-
food.
I've gotta be honest.
What's your favourite Easter egg? Kind of Easter egg?
What do you mean? As in,
Well,
like size?
No, I mean,
It's always
like,
about
is there a
size, isn't it?
particular product that they start selling at this time of the year that you can't get enough of?
Those enchanted eggs by Galaxy. Oh my god, have you tried those?
No.
No.
They are
No. Is
special.
it Lindt chocolate? Yeah, I'm all for that.
I'm quite partial to a hotel chocolate egg, to be fair.
Are you?
Yeah.
Do you steal them? Oh.
I try to because they're so expensive, but no.
It's fancy. I like a classic cream egg.
I do like a mini egg.
And I'm not gonna detail how I eat a cream egg.
What did I say? How do you lick them?
How do you lick them? Yeah, but
I
it's
don't
how
think
do
that's-
you eat yours?
Yes.
You have to lick out the
But I was trying to
insides
avoid the
first.
copyright issue, so I've
Oh.
come up with my own how do you lick them.
How do you lick them?
Do you
And I
like
actually think
How
that's
do you
more
like your eggs
catchy.
in the morning?
That's, well, not cream eggs.
No.
I love
You
a
don't
cream
know,
egg.
yeah. Some people leave a cream egg for breakfast at Easter.
Well, why wouldn't you?
I've already had 3 Easter eggs so far. I don't believe the Easter eggs should be confined to Easter Sunday.
No,
I
Easter
think it
aren't
should
just
be
for Easter. They're
to
for all
have
year
a
round.
Easter egg season. Buy one each week when I go to the shops.
Build up.
To be fair,
Eat one.
they're actually cheaper to buy in some stores, aren't they, than actual chocolate
Yeah.
bars.
Oh yeah, because they're pushing them, aren't they?
Yeah.
Pushing them. It's all about the push.
It's all about the push.
And that's why when you get to Easter Sunday, there aren't any left in the shops because I've been buying them all.
It's true.
And eating them.
It's a true story.
Are you going to bring some in for us?
Maybe.
Okay. Chocolate aside, as much as we love it, clearly, how do we feel about decorating our homes for Christmas? No?
For Christmas. Well,
I moved on. I'm done with Easter. I mean, who
actually,
needs
you know,
Easter?
as you say it, there are people that have a tree all year round.
Yes, they do. Tell us
They
about
have a
it.
Christmas tree. They then have a Valentine's tree. They then have an Easter tree, a Halloween tree, back rotating round to Christmas, so they don't actually take their
Family
trees
tree?
down. Family tree. How do you feel about this?
But no, because I like the feeling you get when you take your tree down because your room looks bigger.
It
Yes.
does. You get your
And you
space
go,
back.
oh, it looks
but
really
also-
tidy in here.
That
and you
awkward
haven't
corner.
done anything.
Yeah.
That awkward
Oh, see what I
corner.
did?
Awkward
See what I
corner
did?
in the room.
Yeah.
I like the pun there.
Yeah, that's quite good.
But,
I practiced. I put you off now.
Yeah.
Talk to
Train
me.
of thought, gone.
Talk to me about decorations.
I didn't know it was such a thing.
Why would you do it?
Because everyone likes to celebrate something, don't they?
Is it? Yeah, but is it now a fear of missing out again?
Yeah,
If you're
probably. A bit of
not,
FOMO.
Not doing it, isn't it? And putting it on Instagram and your Facebook,
Yeah.
like my mother will be.
But I had I had a little search online about Easter trends and Easter decorating, and there were so many articles,
Yep.
magazines. So Ideal Home,
they all
House
do.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
but then like retailers, John Lewis, even
Yeah.
Interflora.
Yeah. What's that about?
Well, I mean, you've only got to look at the array of products that you can buy, from Easter wreaths to...
Chicks on sticks.
What is this thing about the wreath being an all year round?
Well,
thing?
I-
It's a bit
Again,
like
it's the whole
tree.
Christmas tree. You've got an Easter wreath.
But
There are loads
I like a
around
wreath.
me.
I have to admit, I do have a wreath.
Do you use it all year round? Is it the same one that you just repurpose?
No,
or do you
I
have a
have-
different one
I-
for every season?
No, I have a decorative wreath on my door.
What, all year round?
Generally,
But
yes.
why?
Because it looks nice.
I have one in the
Have
autumn
you got a picture?
for Halloween.
It's got feathers on it.
Have you got a picture?
Not with me. I saw it.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
you'll have to show us your wreath.
I'll put it on social media.
I
As my
also
mum
wanted
says.
to throw, just as an addition there, gingham. That's always thrown out at Easter.
Oh, I know, and I hate it.
Gingham's never good at any time of
No.
year.
I hate it.
But it always comes out at
You
Easter.
are right there.
You can't go Easter without seeing a bit of gingham
Chicks in it.
and florals. But then it's the start of spring, isn't it? It's that hope where people
Hope.
spring clean at home and fresh flowers.
But
It's that whole kind of-
I sort of understand a wreath. That's what I mean, though, because Christmas wreath is very traditional, and people do that. So I can understand why that's sort of extended towards.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I can get on board with a
Easter.
wreath, but a tree, it's just pushing it a bit
That's
too
too
far for me.
isn't it?
But I can understand.
How far would you go if you were decorating your house? Though? Would you just like kind of contain one area, or would you go the whole?
I always do table decorations
Yeah,
for
I'm the
events
same.
like that. So
Yeah.
I'd like decorate the dining table,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't necessarily decorate anything else.
So you
I
would go
have
mad
lots of
and
eggs around on.
No.
Easter bunting.
Again, yeah, Easter bunting.
No.
No giant eggs just sitting around
big
the house.
6-foot Easter
Pap-
bunny at the
papier-mâché,
front of the
yeah.
house.
I've got a list here
Putting eggs
of
in vases.
things you can make. You've got small humans, so
Yeah, that's another thing. If you've got children, then Easter is a big thing.
exactly
Making
Yeah.
Easter bonnets, for example.
Yeah.
But then it turns into this massive composition in terms of
Oh yeah, well,
Between
how-
parents.
Yeah. How elaborate
Yeah.
the Easter bonnet is going to be.
Instagram rivalry.
Exactly. But then it kind of takes it away from the child actually making the Easter bonnet, and it
course it
becomes a parent's Easter bonnet.
Yeah.
So
Sock bunny gnome. Anyone want to make that?
Sock
Sock
bunny
bunny
gnome.
gnome.
No, yeah.
That seems like three
Sock
different things to me.
bunny gnome. It's a thing apparently. Google tells me I can make it.
Do you have a picture?
Again, I don't.
Stephen.
But I will dig some pictures out. Obviously. But do you really want to see?
Disappointing.
Do you really want to see a picture of a sock bunny gnome though?
I do now.
I'm going to
you said
Google it now.
Because once
right now.
you've seen it, you're probably unlikely never to forget it.
SJ, I'm finding this one now.
They're bunny ears. You can make bunny ears. Obviously, that's a classic.
yeah.
That's a classic. A no-so Easter gnome. I mean, I don't know what that
A
is.
no-so Easter
But I don't
gnome.
think I'm
Wouldn't
making
that be
that.
just a gnome?
Who doesn't sew? A faux fur bunny. Slightly controversial. especially if you don't actually use faux fur.
So they're like the Danish
They're like the little Nordic elf type.
Christmas
Yes.
gnome
Yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, they're bunnies, aren't
But
they?
they're-
But they've got ears
Bunny
They've been Eastered up.
Yes.
What are those gnomes
With bunny
called?
ears.
with bunny ears,
I mean,
which
that's
is not
disturbing.
something that I'm.
Those gnomes have
looking
got
for.
a name.
They have got a name.
What, like Gerald?
No.
Oh,
I mean, Gerald is very specific. You've clearly got a gnome called Gerald.
don't tell everybody.
It's something like Gonk. Is
Gonk.
it right? Is that right?
Yes, I think that might be right. Actually,
Yeah,
it's
there we
along
go.
those lines. If honest, I mean, not a lot freaks me out, but they kind of disturb me a little bit. I think it's the fact that they have a lack of eyes.
Yeah.
possibly. I think
You just
that's
see
the
the
thing
nose.
that-
It is the nose for
slightly
me. I
sinister.
find it slightly
Yeah,
off-putting.
they are. And with bunny ears, I don't think that's an improvement
Mm.
either. So you're not making any of that then?
No,
clearly
is probably
no
the answer to
enthusiasm
that.
around the table for.
no.
for
Although
making-
it all depends what my children's homework gets thrown my way in terms of what they have to make for school.
It's purely commercial, isn't it? There's no reason for it.
Well, yeah, in terms of the decorations, no. And when you think about it, where do eggs come from?
Oh, we're going to do that question.
Where do Easter eggs come from, and where does the bunny come from? So,
Well, and the bunny's pagan, isn't he? Apparently.
but apparently, rabbits typically give birth
Oh, hello.
to large litters,
Yes.
therefore becoming a symbol of new life.
Okay. I thought that was lambs though as well,
Wow.
but then maybe I'm just
And-
Welsh, so
Yeah, well, true.
maybe I'm just Welsh. Maybe
So,
not.
the Easter bunny lays the decorated eggs for the symbol of new life. But apparently, I was reading, we see it in the UK as the Easter bunny. But if you were in Switzerland, eggs would be delivered by a cuckoo
Oh yeah, I've read that.
Oh.
Yeah, I've read
because
that.
it's their symbol of growth and rebirth.
Oh, okay.
And in Germany, they're delivered by a fox.
Hello, I like that.
fox.
Yeah.
The Easter fox.
The Easter fox.
Hello.
Oh, you're making one of those, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm making an Easter
making one of
fox for
those,
sure.
yeah.
Especially if he's going to deliver eggs.
Yeah.
It
Chocolatey
made me
ones.
wonder because I thought, why are rabbits associated with Easter eggs? Why do rabbits deliver Easter eggs? That's what made me think. So apparently that's the reason why. That's our symbol of rebirth.
Yeah, and at it like rabbits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Possibly. Yeah, possibly. I've got I've got an interesting fact.
Go on.
Stephen's interesting fact. The story behind the UK's first chocolate egg. Do you know about this?
No.
You're not seen this?
No.
So
I'm going to
okay.
say no, but I probably.
So the first chocolate Easter egg in the UK was introduced in 1873. I'm not eating that one, if I'm honest. But it was by a family-owned company. Anyone want to guess who that company might be?
Ooh. Go on.
It's not the obvious one.
I was going to say, is this like in QI where I'm going to say the obvious one and then I'm going to get a bit behind
you
me?
might do, yeah. Tell me.
No, I'm not going to say it.
No,
because
tell
it's
me.
not.
You have to tell me.
Well,
now.
no, because you'd say it's like Cadbury's, wouldn't you? But
Not even close.
No, it's fries.
It's what?
Fries were the actual.
Oh.
The Turkish delight people, isn't it?
yeah.
That's what it became for. They actually they pioneered it. They saw the ones in Europe, but the ones in Europe were solid chocolate. You'd love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but they developed a system and a mold to create a hollow egg. That's why we have the hollow ones here. Clearly, the people on the continent are getting a better deal because they're
Yeah.
solid
They're getting
chocolate.
solid egg chocolate.
But they started out, obviously, in the 1800s, doing different things. And then by the time they were ready, they created an actual mold and they poured it. And that's how we get these wonderful kind of... And you can see the mold. It's available to have a look at Preston Park Museums and Grounds. Shout out to Preston Park.
Big up Preston Park.
He's seriously done a lot of research.
I've done a
into
lot of
this.
research. I mean, I tried. It's as you would expect though. The pattern is exactly how we get them now though. So you get that like kind of dinosaur scaly pattern.
It's exactly the
Nobody's
same.
really kind of gone away from that because that's the original mold. It looks exactly
quite
like
nice,
that.
though.
So you consider that's like a long time ago already, isn't it? Far distant past.
I looked into why we look at eating eggs, and apparently years and many moons ago,
Yeah.
church leaders
Oh.
didn't originally allow you to eat eggs, or chicken eggs, should I say. Yeah, yeah, exactly. During the week leading up to Easter, known as Holy Week. So any eggs that were laid that week were then decorated to make them Holy Week eggs and given to children as gifts.
Holy Week eggs sounds
Holy
like something
Week
Holy
Robin
Week.
would say.
And
Holy
then the
Week eggs,
Victorians
Batman.
adapted that and covered them in satin and cardboard.
Oh, beautiful.
That's
Filled them with
nice,
Easter
isn't it?
gifts. And that's where the whole egg originated.
But hang on a minute. Did they eat then the eggs before that Holy Week? Because surely the start of Lent, you
Yes.
make the pancakes to use up the
Eggs.
eggs.
Yep.
Because during Lent you give up dairy products, animal products, and meat.
Yeah. Hence
Yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, good for them.
Food for thought.
So essentially, then we've been doing Christmas decorating. No, I said it.
It's not Christmas.
But I love Christmas.
It's too
we all love
early.
Christmas.
We do
We
love
do love
Christmas,
Christmas,
but
Stephen.
it's too early to
Okay,
talk about
all right.
Christmas.
Let me try it again.
Easter.
Easter decorations. We've been doing them for quite a while, really.
Yeah.
Even though we said it was
Yes.
quite commercial from a design point of view in terms of designing your house and making it all look lovely and everything else. Actually, that's been going on for quite a while.
It has,
Maybe
yeah.
not quite to the extent that it has been.
Yeah, but
commercialised.
it's traditionally,
tradition. Yeah.
tradition, and it wasn't
Like
necessarily
Christmas.
about making money or being
Yes.
commercial, was it? It was about we've got some leftover
Celebrating.
eggs, let's paint them. Whereas now, I mean, I looked up some of the Easter trends for 2022. It's
Okay.
just another way for people to sell us things.
Yes.
Sunshine colours, soft colours,
Pastels.
nature, mix of Asian influences, gold, creams, cobalt blue, textured metals, mix and match tableware. It just seems like an excuse for me
Yeah,
to sell
it's
us
like
more stuff.
the mix and match tableware. It's like fresh linen and something else. Or
and
wicker.
it's also just a rehash of all other trends.
yeah,
Of course it is. Yeah.
pretty much.
But it's Easter, and then what? We're going to get to the summer and then chuck all that stuff out and buy some new stuff.
Ready for summer.
And then,
Then Christmas. Actually, Halloween.
Halloween
Halloween.
And Christmas, Stephen.
and Christmas. Desperate to talk about
I am
Christmas.
supposed to. We'll get there next week.
Excellent.
Excellent. Sticking with the religious theme then. Oh, don't do that. Don't do it again. I've got a little story because I was having a look online and people post their kind of
Yes.
stories. And I find this
I do
really
know what the
funny.
internet is, yes.
Okay, do you? Do you? Okay.
Just.
Good. All right. I'm glad we established that. That'll help. So I found a few stories and bits and pieces. I think this is funny. You might not. I don't care. I love it. But
Awkward.
So awkward if we don't laugh.
Very awkward. I mean, try your best not to. So I'm going to read you this story from Sarah. Actually, Sarah Connor. Is that the Terminator woman?
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, she's busy then.
She's obviously really hardcore.
So one year, a bunch of friends and I decided to go to a sunrise service at a super fancy church. I don't know what a super fancy church is, but
No.
I don't know
I
what
like-
some of my services.
I like the sound of both, though, if I'm honest. This church looks like a European cathedral. Might well have been a European cathedral. Hey, I don't really know. And we were all dressed up for 5 a.m., singing around a huge fire outside, which already sounds dangerous because why is there a fire outside? But anyway, moving on. And then going inside for the service. Everyone had candles, and the whole service is by candlelight before the sun rises, which actually sounds quite lovely, doesn't it? I ended up in a row with 2 guy friends, separated from the rest of the group.
Sorry, just backtracking there.
Yes.
Ended up in a what? Sorry. In a
Ended up
room
in
or a robe?
In a row.
Oh,
I think like a pew. It's not that kind of story.
how did you get into a robe?
So me and 2 guy friends were in a robe.
Yeah. That's another story.
Sorry about that. You can carry on now,
on.
Stephen.
Continue,
So
please.
separated from the rest of the group. Surrounded in darkness by people wearing fancy hats for Easter. I'm assuming bonnets. But, they might just be fancy hats. I made it through about 2 songs before I heard an odd crackling and sizzling sound coming from my left. The sound guy, not quite sure who the sound guy is, who was positioned a few rows back, yelled, "Your hair is on fire." I panicked and froze, couldn't speak, and could only manage to hit my friend in the shoulder to notify him of the situation. He then proceeded to put the fire out by slapping my hair in his hand.
I like the fact that the guy a couple of rows back
I know.
had noticed she was on fire.
just went,
she hadn't.
Right.
No, and her
I know.
friend standing next to her hadn't.
But he was just like, mate, you're on fire.
Yo,
Don't try and pat her down or
So he does
anything.
his best to pat her hair out between his hands. My other friend was high-pitched laughing uncontrollably and was pretty useless.
That
which,
would be
let's
me.
be honest, that would be the rest of us, wouldn't it? After the fire was out, so relief, she was put out, we decided to leave our row,
robe.
getting some nasty looks from other churchgoers. Well, you would, coming in here with your fancy hair on fire.
Yeah.
And move up to our friends. The full humiliation came when we noticed the church had discreetly placed several other men near our row to keep an eye on us because we couldn't be trusted. It was a memory I'll never forget. Hashtag Happy Easter. I love that.
Eventful.
Imagine though.
And it escalated very quickly.
It did escalate quite quickly. I mean, we could have lost, what was it? A beautiful European cathedral-like church.
Indeed.
Oh,
Did she not say where she was?
No, but maybe that's for the benefit of the churchgoers and the horror
And their
show that she
privacy.
brought to the festivals. I mean, it's probably one they're never going to
So
forget.
did
If
her
I'm
hair
honest.
catch on fire from a candle?
Yeah, but who's waving the candle
know,
around
I mean,
like
come
that? Or has she got very, very long hair? I mean, is she Rapunzel?
Yeah, she could be.
She might be.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're
story,
welcome.
Stephen.
I love stories
That was
like that.
excellent.
It was.
How many
excellent.
times?
I know.
How many times?
I'm going to see how many times I can fit it in.
I need this, don't I? Every time she does
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Anyone got anything else they want to say about Easter?
No, I just
Or have
had
we covered it?
folding up your own napkins into bunnies that came into my head then.
Right, you can't just leave it at that. Are you going to give us a demonstration?
No.
That's like swans
No,
on.
because yes, it is.
isn't it?
Because I'd probably have to watch a tutorial video on how
Tutorial.
to fold.
It's
the
a shame. I
napkin
thought we
into
were
a
going to
bunny.
get a live demonstration of it. Right?
No, maybe I'll save that for next time.
I don't like that. I've got to be honest.
Napkin
that is
folding.
true.
Yeah, and towel folding.
It's true cliche.
Oh, when you go to a hotel and they've made a swan and put it on
No.
your bed, I'm not okay with that because
No,
I've just got to
it's
now.
creepy.
I've got to unfold it.
Unfan it.
I've got to unfan the towel before I can use it.
But then you get like the odd
But
sprinkle
also-
of petals
Yeah.
alongside the
The towel's
swans.
always very starchy when they
Well,
do
it's
that.
got to
with
be,
it, 'cause
isn't it?
needs-
If you're
yeah,
going
and
to
that's
fold it
not-
into
It's
a
gotta be
physical
stiff.
animal.
Yeah, and
No,
that's not comfortable, is
No,
it?
it's
No.
scratchy.
Against
No,
my
I'm not
sensitive
good.
skin.
I'm not good with that. I've got to be honest. That's one Easter tradition they can keep. Now, I thought we were going to do something that was really interesting, and we were going to do Easter bonnets. I mean, who doesn't love an Easter bonnet? And again, maybe showing my age slightly.
Very popular in the 1920s.
Very popular, and it goes with my ringlets, as you know. However, we're not going to do that because we got told of something called egg scenes.
Yes.
We did.
Literal scenes, all the scenes,
Yes.
which I didn't know what they were.
And do you know what? They kind of sound more awkward.
They probably do. They will be the way I'm going to make
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Admittedly, probably for 8-year-olds, but we're going to have a crack at it.
Oh, I don't
aren't
know
we?
though because I've googled this
Okay.
and there are some really elaborate and sometimes quite dark.
Do we think parental influence there? though?
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
possibly.
Yeah, competition between parents at school.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It drives me insane.
I'm all for that. How do we feel about egg scenes then? Are we excited to do it?
I am. I've got a really good
Excited?
idea.
Excited.
Yes.
So, yeah. Well, yes.
I've
we've
got a really
talked
good
about
idea.
This, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've talked about this, and
Yeah.
you know my idea.
Yes,
I know. your
and mine's
idea.
better.
I mean, I think I've
You
got a
know-
really good
you know
idea.
mine.
Yeah, no, I think
do,
mine's the best.
How do you know my idea?
Because you told me.
Did I?
Yeah. Unless you've changed it. I'm not going to divulge it over the podcast, but you know.
Our producer Carrie is also saying you've told her, so you haven't been that
Yeah,
secretive
but
about it, have you?
I knows, of course. I didn't think I told SJ. Was I having a moment? Clearly. Tell me what it... No, don't tell me what it is.
No, I can't tell you
Don't
what it is
tell me
over
it is.
the podcast.
So,
No,
so I don't know yours, though.
no, you don't.
Oh, God. I feel
no
like
one knows
I
SJ's.
feel
Sorry, mate.
vulnerable now. But hey,
I mean, yeah. We'll just leave it there.
we'll leave it there. You'll get a chance to vote on this, which is very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do it blind, so nobody knows whose is whose.
Yes.
Which obviously is part of the fun, isn't it?
will be the best one.
Yeah, you say that, But if you spot black tiles, you know where that's going.
Don't forget the white grout.
That's where it
So
fails.
close to swearing at him.
So that's where it fails.
Please do not
That's where it
swear.
fails. Oh, if only she used black grout, she'd have won. But on a more kind of wider context, egg scenes then, it's model making,
Yes.
which we're very excited about.
Key skill.
A key skill, in design. And it doesn't matter kind of what area of design. You know, obviously we're interior designers. We would use it a lot, but it's very relevant to furniture design, product design. It goes across the board, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Why do we think it's important then?
I think it helps you to engage with the design process and understand these sort of transferable skills and looking at things from a conceptual point of view
Yeah.
as a start. I mean, there's loads of reasons why it's really important.
Do you know the episode of Friends where they go to London
First Friends reference.
and
Of many.
Oh,
Joey gets his map out
He does get his
and
map
he
out
says, "So I'm in my map."
in the map.
And that idea of being able to visualize where he is and where he needs to get to,
Yeah.
I think that's a great analogy for model making.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's true.
That you can actually physically engage with
A space.
a space
Yeah.
in 3 dimensions.
Yeah. I think there's a misconception as well that it has to be like a perfect model. I think a lot of people, because obviously you see presentational models like in these big architectural competitions and things like that.
Yeah.
But actually, most model making is done in a much more kind of fluid or rough way, isn't it? Where you're exploring an idea or a concept, or just as you say, to get to see the space.
To get in the map.
Get in the map.
Get in the map.
Get in the map.
Get in the space.
What kind of materials would you normally use when you kind of do it? I know what my favourite is personally. It's not black card.
I think it depends on what you're making. I think if
That's
it's,
interesting.
I think if you're just starting out and you're looking at more of a maquette-based model, I've even been inclined to use paper, just pure paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, my favourite would probably be just card.
Yeah.
White card.
White card,
White
yeah.
card. Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, there's
Equally
just
though,
something so simple about
I
it.
made a model at university with wood, nails and elastic bands.
Oh.
It was all part of the concept, to be fair. But that was nice because it was nice to...
Well, I've got to ask. What were the elastic bands for?
Well, okay, so
how it was constructed.
sort of that...
Sort of sounds medieval.
Okay. This is going to sound a bit strange. But so the design was for a stable building and my concept were the muscles in a horse's leg.
Ah, that makes sense.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the elastic bands were representing the muscles and the tendons and
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
and so that was how I explored that concept within the space of, and the nails and the wood were
Well,
then the
Yeah, that's the
The-
perfect example of material reflecting
space itself.
the concept.
The nails were practical because you need something to
Yeah,
hook
yeah.
the
Obviously. Not just
the
for
elastic
fun.
bands over.
That's a trigger though. And you know I don't like to talk about horses' legs. So I can't believe you brought that one up.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It is a thing,
Oh, okay.
SJ.
You
I
might have
can't-
to explain,
I can draw horses, but I can't draw their legs. I can't draw their legs properly.
And
So
I think it's important to know that you are a beautiful drawer,
I am a beautiful
but
drawer.
yeah,
just terrible at
but not,
horses.
not when you see, if you want awkwardness,
Oh,
I mean,
please.
there's,
Please.
bucket
Draw us a
loads.
picture and we'll put it on Instagram.
Is it like a fear?
it's like a feeling.
Like you can't draw a horse's
There
leg?
must be a name for that.
If you want a horse's head, beautiful. I can do that. Beautiful context.
Or you just can't draw them, is that?
They're odd. Look at a horse. That
Yeah,
beautiful,
yeah,
like
yeah.
kind of strong
Like the
body.
form, yeah.
And then these tiny wee little legs that come down.
True.
It just looks wrong. And my brain can't quite
Process it.
process that. And ever since a child, I can't.
Maybe you should make a model.
Maybe I should sculpt one.
Sculpt a model of a horse.
Sculpt a horse. Yeah, it's a tangent. I mean, it's a trigger for me. I like that though. I have to be honest, I've never used any other kind of like
No.
materials really for doing any kind of model making. I like white card. I like that simplicity of
I do.
like, but I know people use like kind of like you were saying balsa wood.
Yeah.
They'll use thicker card like cardboard, just like general cardboard, isn't it? Like Amazon packaging. Let's say that.
See,
Shout out.
I always think as well with white card, in terms of how I use models in the design process, I like to be able to take photographs and actually get inside the model that I've
Yeah,
made,
that's
and
the
then
best bit,
draw
isn't it?
on top
Yeah.
Yeah.
and develop from there. And I think it's the most appropriate material for me as a designer.
It's clarity as well, isn't it? It's about the space then. Because there's no other distraction, it's about the
Yeah.
volume and the space.
And the light
And
as
the
well.
light. And that's a
That's a
really
really
great
good
way
point.
of exploring
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
Do you put people in your model? I mean, not literal people. We're not talking like Joey and the
Yeah,
man.
I mean, I think it's
How is it, Mama?
I think it's how far you want to go, because you can get the little tiny people, can't you, to scale?
I love a little tiny person.
Yeah, I
Exactly,
think
yeah,
sometimes
you know.
it's important to explore scale.
Yeah, definitely.
It's context, isn't
I
it?
just think they're just
Cute.
cute.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have
I
many
like
friends
any-
growing up, so.
I like anything miniature though.
Yeah, I think that's something we've all got in common.
Okay. I mean, I'm glad we got that on record.
I think we mean like, dolls' houses and stuff. not
Yeah,
like-
Dolls' houses. Oh,
Yeah.
And
see,
book nooks.
book nooks.
Book
Book nooks are
nooks.
fabulous. We
I've
should
got
do a whole
one.
thing on book nooks.
I've got one.
That's
I haven't made
that's
it
a
yet
whole
though.
podcast,
I haven't
book
made it
notes.
yet though, but I've got it.
Yeah.
What, like a set?
Yeah. It
So
came
like-
with
like
it was
as a-
already cut.
Yeah, and then you make it up.
Oh, but haven't you seen these on Pinterest where people make their own?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
from-
Yeah.
Yes, but it was bought for me,
Oh.
and I
Yeah.
wasn't going to say no. Sorry, I'm going
gonna
to
make my
own.
I mean, all right.
I haven't even had time to make that one up yet.
I'll have to take a picture of mine.
We should definitely make one. Actually,
Yeah.
we should do that later.
Maybe that's the
Yeah.
next model making challenge. the
Yes,
book nook.
because again, it's a skill, isn't it? It's like, again, when you consider how
Yeah.
thin that is, and how you try and
Yeah,
what do they call it? Diorama.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah.
That whole thing again of getting that small and that kind of detailed. I think it's a beautiful thing. Where do you think? What do you think ultimately model making though gives to a project? Then I know we have to talk briefly about it, but would you use a full blown model still for like a finished presentation, or do you think now CAD has kind of superseded that?
I think there's a tactility to what we do that I think can sometimes only be reflected in that physicality of a
Yeah.
model or of, same with sample boards. And I think there's still ultimately a place for it.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree.
And my concern is that maybe potentially the value of that is not.
It's true, but I also think it's a timing issue, isn't it? In terms of how much time people have got to dedicate to a particular task.
I love the fact if you build a model, you can put it in a client's hand.
Yeah.
And they love the first
Yeah.
thing they do, and they look at
They
it.
look
don't they?
inside,
And they
get
kind of
right
look at it,
in.
and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's so
it's
true.
like that doll's house thing
Yeah.
again of like putting yourself in that space. And I think there's still a real engagement value in that
Yeah.
that you can't get from CAD.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Although I suppose, to play devil's advocate, VR has changed a little bit of that from a CAD perspective. But I still don't think it's quite as dynamic as actually having a little tiny physical space
No.
of what it is you're designing.
No.
And also there's I suppose what there is the balance between the two, the balance between CAD and maybe laser printing now,
Yeah,
because you've got the best of both worlds
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
You're
Yeah.
designing in CAD but printed in 3D.
How do we feel about that? 3D printing.
I mean, I think
I
it's
don't-
amazing what they can do.
It's very clever, but I don't like it. Again, it's skill.
Yeah.
That's the skill that's surely replacing model making.
It's I mean, it is incredible technology, but yeah, I get what you mean. It's I think the basic skill of being able to model make by hand is taken away when you
building,
design in
isn't it?
CAD, because it is. It's
building it. It's
building and
actually building the
engineering,
space.
We've had conversations, haven't we, about the importance of being able to hand draw before you use computer software.
indeed.
Yes.
Because you get to learn about scale
Yeah.
before you then input information into a computer and it does it for you. And I think
Yeah.
potentially model making is exactly the same.
I would,
Yeah.
That you
I would
have a
agree.
better understanding for a space if you do that physically with your own hands,
Yes, as opposed to
as opposed to putting measurements into a computer and then that being printed elsewhere.
Yeah,
There's a
because
disconnect then
there is,
between
because-
you and your project.
Have you actually still explored the space?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think you have doing it that way because you're still just inputting, aren't you? Whereas again, if you're physically cutting things and sticking
Yeah.
things,
And it's investment. I think it's investment in your project.
I think it's investment in your personal skills as well.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, because you're able to. I think again, I've actually built a model on site once out of bits
Yeah.
and pieces just to demonstrate something
Something.
or work a problem that you're trying to like think about.
Yeah.
and you have that ability to.
But then it's the same with sketching a site survey or a plan or a drawing in front of a client.
Yeah.
If you don't have those skills to be able to interpret how scale can be interpreted on paper because you're always doing it on the computer, then how would you be able to translate that to a client?
Yeah.
If they were asking, say, for example, they wanted a particular piece of furniture here or they wanted something bespoke there, you would know in your mind whether that would work or not.
But your clients might not necessarily always understand those digital
No.
drawings that you put in front of them, whether they be 3D or not. But they will have a better understanding of something that you can physically show them, like a model.
And get inside.
Because
the
not
model.
everybody has the skills that you have. That's
No.
the reason why they are employing a designer and not doing it themselves.
Indeed.
That's a very good point. That's
Thank
a very
you.
good point. You're still going to lose the egg scene competition. Just
Absolutely
I mean,
not.
you've got an idea.
I've got an idea. I've got a great idea.
Oh,
I've
whoa,
got
whoa,
an
whoa.
idea as well. I'm not telling you what my idea is.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I feel threatened now.
No.
I don't.
Why?
she's
Because
got
I
a
know
great
my
idea.
idea is fantastic.
Although,
I think mine's better.
yeah.
Although, yeah.
Although, I
sounds
can't
like you're
remember
going
what
to
I was
tease it
gonna
there.
say.
You're going to
No,
tease it.
No clues.
No clues.
But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to starting it, actually.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like a real competition?
Of course, it's going to be a competition. People are going to vote on it.
What will I win?
It'll
I
be a
see.
cream egg.
Oh, yes. Can I have 3?
No, just the one.
No, but you can buy packs of 3. It's probably cheaper than just buying one.
It is true, yeah.
Maybe.
Trying to get an odd cream egg.
No, I can find an odd cream egg.
Wow. You are an odd cream egg.
It's fine.
Awkward.
Oh, what?
Excellent.
Oh, see, I'm slow with the sound effect.
Yeah,
So
come on,
I
get
didn't
them.
know you were going to do that.
No.
God, that's after the Lord Mayor's Parade, isn't it?
Yeah. So watch this space, egg scene.
Egg
Hashtag
scenes.
egg scene.
Scenes.
Yes.
Oh, I made them sound sinister. Yours is.
Mine
Stevens
is-
will be.
No, mine's just creepy. But that, goes with the territory. I think we're done
Yeah, I do.
because
I think we've exhausted Easter.
for the record,
Exhausted.
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 hang
Oh,
on.
nice
that's
one.
a good one. Yeah, I'm going to give you a flat. Yeah,
We'll just leave you with Easter wreaths.
Easter wreaths.
How would you decorate your wreath? Think about it.
Chicks on sticks.
Chicks on sticks. What
Every
egg scene
day.
would you create?
Everybody.
Why does everything you say sound sexy?
I don't know.
It's getting very sexy.
Because she's leaning in.
It is.
It's because
Yeah,
she
it's the
leans
body
in like that.
language.
Hello.
She keeps winking at
Hello.
people as well.
Lean closer to the mic. Egg scene.
Look at the bus timetable. See, it's sexy when I do it. It's not sexy when I do it.
No, it's not. Absolutely.
I'll work on that for next time.
Excellent.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed listening. If you have, then we'd love to hear more from you. Until next time, goodbye from the awkward corner.
TTFN.
Bye.
Ta-ta for now.
Bye.